we can always expect for the administration to use a lot of smoke and mirrors. So they tell you a side of the story, but they're always missing information.
Tell me, first of all, your impression of last night's meeting. You told me before when I interviewed you in February that you knew that was going to happen, that she was going to end up vetoing the resolution that you guys ended up passing.
Yes, everything went exactly how I expected, or we expected. We went in the meeting and her goal was to veto it. So she vetoed it, and now we have to wait to the next meeting so that we can override the veto.
Yeah, talk about how how that all works out. You're gonna end up overriding that veto because you want this investigation to happen.
Yes, as the legislative branch, we feel that it's extremely important to have the authorities come in and force this administration to provide us with the information needed so that we can provide it to the residents regarding how the money is being spent. That's the most important.
Tell me how you're feeling. I mean, I'm assuming you've gotten used to these meetings and not kind of being stripped of power and control. But give me your impression of last night's meeting, besides just the veto. I mean, how did you feel that meeting went?
Overall, it went as expected also. We can always expect for the administration to use a lot of smoke and mirrors. So they tell you a side of the story, but they're always missing information. So they say that they provide us with information when they know that the truth of the matter is we don't have the information that we need regarding financial statements, where we stand as a village. In September, we were $7 million in debt. So we're saying, hey, we have to be more in debt at this point, and we need to be provided with the information.
And you don't have that information, right? You're not being provided that.
No, and that's why we're asking the authorities to come in and force this administration to provide us with the documentation needed so that we can inform the residents.
If the last time you got financial statements was in September, now we're in March, how are you feeling as a trustee? Do you feel like you can't do your job for the people of Dolton?
Yes, that's exactly how I feel. And on top of that, last night they admitted that because the big thing also, in addition to the traditional spending, they use a lot of spending on the credit cards. And as of the last few months, they replaced the credit card. They got a new credit card, told us that the credit card that we used previously that we canceled, and when we asked for proof that we canceled it, they can't provide us with proof stating that they canceled the credit card. But last night they admitted that there is a new credit card that they're using that we have no information regarding it. So we didn't even know which bank it was with because they didn't provide us with that information.
So what do you guys do next? What's the next step for you as this certain number of trustees who don't feel her leadership is the best? I mean, at this point, she vetoed your investigation. What are you planning to do next? What are you going to do next?
Our goal is to continue to fight for the residents. We do have a forum, a community forum that we host every month, every second Saturday of the month, and it's called Tea with the Trustees, and it's at the Dolton Park District and in the Less Alone building, and we're asking residents to get involved. If they're not involved, we're going to continue to do what the residents elected us to do, which is speak out on their behalf and continue to fight for transparency, continue to fight for accountability. But it's better with numbers. So if they can come out at 9:30 this upcoming Saturday, we'd love to have the unity, because right now we need everyone in the community to kind of speak out and work together to pray for change.
This has been going on for months. Do you feel like at some point this is going to come to an end and you'll be able to do your job, or another trustee will be able to do the job, or what?
That's the tricky part. There's a part of us that feel as if we may have to wait until next year, election time, and hope that the residents come out and make the right decisions when it's time to vote this next election.
Besides not having access to bills, you guys are also getting phone calls, right? I mean, vendors are calling you guys when bills aren't being paid, correct?
Yes, so that's another part of the extreme issue. We're saying, hey, they're assigning vendors to do work, and it's unbeknownst to us. We have no clue. And what happens is, after a while, once the vendor tries to contact them and to no avail, then they decide, hey, well, let me contact the trustees. So now we've been receiving an abundance of calls saying, hey, you all owe us payment. Our last call was from a vendor saying that we owe them about $20,000 for some posters that the mayor plans to poster around town with her picture on it, with cute sayings. And we're saying, hey, how can we afford this if we're in a deficit?
So when's the next board meeting that's going to happen?
So our next board meeting will be the first Monday of next month, which is around probably April the 6th. I don't have a calendar in front of me, but it'll be the first Monday, in April.
Do you expect that's when you would end up overriding, or would there be a special meeting?
Yeah, so the goal is hopefully, because that's another thing, sometimes they decide when they want to allow us to put items on the agenda. So hopefully they put it on the agenda and we're able to go ahead and vote. If not, we'll host a special meeting so that we can still move forward and take care of the business at hand.